Might help if I turn my mic on. How is everyone doing today? I'm just wrapping up a little bit of back-end stuff here. I can see it's a little bit empty in the lobby right now. I think it's because we haven't done roll call within group chat just yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I was just watching some World Series of Poker, event number 61, with a fellow YouTuber, Ryan Bolo, who's on track to win $500,000 right now. And the tournament was supposed to end a long time ago, probably over 2 hours ago, and for some reason it is still playing right now, and he's in the fourth seat, which I think gets him, I don't know, roughly $120,000. So it's pretty impressive to watch this. I'm trying not to watch it anymore, but we're like right in the crunch. They're down to the last 4 seats, so I really want to see how it ends, but it's showtime though. So yeah, welcome everyone who's popping in right now. Hope everyone's having a great time. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, then World Series of Poker, Texas Hold'em style poker. It's being televised right now. And Ryan Bolo, they call him a poker vlogger, which is somebody who loves playing poker, casinos and stuff like that, or playing at casinos. And they make vlog style videos, just like video journal videos. Yeah, y'all know what a vlogger is, right? Check them DMs. Let's see what's going on, Pam. If you're asking me to check the DM so I can look at this image, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. Don't? Okay, well, that's a good reason to check the DMs. Pam, can you run the roll call? Because I don't have a copy paste of everyone's ats on hand. I certainly don't. I don't know if you can scroll up and fetch the last one, or I don't know how to go about it. Especially right now, there's just no way that I could feasibly do it. You love the World Series of Poker? It's on CBS All Access right now. You have to have an All Access account. And if you want my login information, I'll give it to you. I'll let you go watch the games right now, because they struck some type of exclusive deal with them. They're at the final table. There's 5 people left. Chip leader has 131 million, which is essentially, I think the blinds are 5 and 10 right now. Oh, it's 3 and 6. So he has, I don't know what that comes out to, about 20 bigs right now. And the guy that I'm watching is Ryan Bolo, who has 92 million on his chip stack. And there's only 5 people left right now. So he has equivalent, like, I guess, 15 big blinds right now. And then the short stack has 63 million. So it's kind of tight. He's third at the table right now. So, but I really got to turn this off before the show starts, or I'm going to get nothing accomplished tonight. And I wish I could stream it to you guys, but there's no way I could legally do that. And Pam, if you can't do the roll call tonight, it's not a huge deal. People who don't know that we stream every single Sunday yet, I can't help people get into there. Any big names left? No, this is one of those oddball ones. We got Capalis, Barber, DePaulo, who is my boy from YouTube, Lopez, and Park. And, well, Capalis, he's with tonight's win, he's going to break 1 million in cash earnings, or tournament winnings, essentially. So he's kind of a big name. And then Barber, he's won a bracelet once before, so he's going for his second bracelet tonight. But he's short stack. He's playing a little bit funny tonight. I don't see him getting a second bracelet tonight. I'd be really surprised, because he had a pretty good spot. He was second at the table for a while, and he's kind of squandered that away. And then Park, which is crazy, is at 177 million right now in chips, and when blinds were still 3 and 6, or 2.5 and 4.5, he was down to 1 big. I think he had like 12.5 left in his stack, somewhere in there, and he's brought it back to now he's chip leader at the table, all in a matter of 10 or 15 hands. It's nuts. And they're probably going to go on a second break here soon too. But tonight we're going to be talking about eBay and stuff, right? That's why we're here. Theoretically, you guys aren't just here to comment about the set or my shirt. We have an interesting show. We've got a lot to talk about. I can't wait till we get our funding scaled up a little bit, and then we're going to be able to either do a show more often or something. Real good kid, real good kid. I don't know who you are, but it's going great tonight. Thanks for dropping on in. We're just doing a little bit of pre-show, a little chit-chat, talking about poker before everything gets going. If you haven't done so yet, guys, smack that like button. Does help us out. Ooh, we already got 3 people who disliked us. Thank you for those. Yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand. Those dislikes help too. They help with engagement. So even if people dislike, it's like a win for us in our book. So yeah, if you ever see me get salty over it, it is what it is, and you can't please everyone. So, well, I'm happy that you've been here before. I can't see the avatars on this screen. Let me scroll back and see if I recognize your avatar. Let me check your channel. I do not recognize you, but I'm happy to have you here. 191 subs. Wow. Farming simulator, eh? Are you a friend of Corey's too? Is that where I know you from? FGS, pleasure to see you. I don't know who we're shouting out for you, Elena. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna watch this one last hand, and then I'm closing the poker window. Oh, okay. Yeah, are you Corey's? You're not Corey's brother, are you? I know he said he had a brother or a cousin who played video games. Yeah, I know. You think I would close it. Is there something on the... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I don't even know if I want to tell you what I just did right now. I thought there was some schmuck on my screen, okay? And I tried to swipe it. It turns out it was FGS's hand emoji looking really small in my chat, and I tried to wipe it off my screen just now. Thank you for that. Okay, I can't watch any more poker. If anyone has a CBS All Access account, please keep me in the loop. I'm closing it out. I'm gonna message my friend Joe, because he's watching it right now too, and I'm asking if he'll drop into chat and give me the play-by-play. What a time to be missing. I'm even paying for that too. I won't even get to see it tonight. Keep me posted. Had to close for the show. Okay. I'm closing everything, guys. It's all closed out. No more fun time for me. Pat the Reseller present and accounted for. Let's get this party started tonight, guys. We're talking about FedEx tonight. What else are we talking about? We're talking about eBay. I'm reading through my notes. I apologize, guys. FedEx news is crazy this week. It's I don't know. It's a mix. Like, I get why they're doing it, and I think once I explain it, it'll make a lot more sense to everyone. Like, for me, it's not even... I consider it barely newsworthy, because it's really not going to affect any of us. It didn't really have a market effect, but it's something that we should talk about because, you know, we're all about getting smarter together, so it's important. I think the highlight of this week's show is probably going to be the training or the pickups. Future Fortunes, thanks for dropping on in. Now here's the thing, okay? I told everyone I would stop plugging channels on here because I just really don't want to anymore. I've plugged some channels that have gone ahead and made some content that just wasn't good, or contained bad information. But I know Future Fortunes personally, and if you got a moment, click on the little dots next to his name, go check his channel out and subscribe. He's in the process of putting together some content. I don't know if he has anything made just yet, but throw him a subscription. Help the guy out a little bit. He's a real nice guy. Let's check out his channel. 0 subscribers so far. Guess what? I'm your first subscriber, Future Fortunes. There we go. Boy, it's getting hot in here already. I've actually got time to do it myself. I'm going to walk downstairs and turn that air up a little bit. And yes, welcome to everyone. We got 20 people here hanging out. Guys, you got any questions pre-show? Feel free to ask them. Let me know how your weekend went. Tell me down in the comments. Let me know in the comments why you're actually here tonight. There's so many great things to be watching, and you guys have taken the time to be here with me this evening. Red Neckerson Resales. Hey everyone, I finally found someone real. Thank you. Red Neckerson Resales left some comments on my videos this week, and what were the comments about? I know I think he liked the content. He had a follow-up question, which was a great question actually. It asked about the penny under method and what to do when you have your item up, let's say 2 months later, somebody just undercuts you by a penny. Now in reality, the goal is to have that item sell quickly. If you don't know what I'm talking when I say penny under method, we have a brand new playlist on my channel that's called Professional Training for Resellers. And it's all of my dedicated training videos without any of the, the nonsense, none of the talk, none of this that we're doing right now, but it's just pure, clean, unadulterated training content. And there's a video in there that talks about how to price any item. So if you have an item and you just don't know how to price it or anything like that, or you don't understand market values, go watch that video, it'll get you straight. And he had asked, what happens when somebody undercuts you by a penny? And I said, well, the goal ultimately is to have your item sell first. And if it doesn't sell first and somebody undercuts you by a penny, you hope that their item sells and then your item is going to sell next. You either want to be next in line or very close to next in line. And then if any chance, you decide down the line you want to run a sale. Me, right now, I'm in the process of rebuilding my store back up to 1,000 items again. And then I'm going to start turning on the gas by running some staggered sales, usually 5%, 10%. And that's enough to get me underneath anyone who's come through and undercut me. And I'll usually run those sales for about 30 days. I run them nice and long, and that helps out quite a bit. So right now, like I said, though, I'm in the process of rebuilding volume. Volume is what matters to me. And I've been pricing things aggressively, especially where I find holes in the market and there just simply isn't items up there within that category or within that specific niche. I'll price hard, really, really hard. And I've been getting away with murder, in all honesty. Like, somebody should cut my hands off because I'm just robbing people right now. Some of the things that I'm selling and the prices that I'm selling them for are nuts. Absolutely nuts. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you visit our Facebook group. Here, I'll even drop a little thing in there. Visit the Facebook group. It has all of the items that I sell, or all the unique items I sell. I post comments up there and everything like that. So there's a lot to learn on the back end. And then if you haven't, also follow us on Instagram. We haven't officially started putting the post up there just yet, but you can visit our Instagram, and we're going to start putting some behind the scenes stuff there. We're going to put some exclusive content there that you're not going to be able to find on this show, and you're not going to be able to find on Facebook. So we want you all over the place. We want you checking everything out. And yes, highway robbery, just cut my hands off, honestly. Some of these prices are just nuts. You saw that Sennheiser mic. that I posted up getting $150 for, and that's like way out there. That's for what you would pay for a refurbished one with a new, I don't know what you call the foil assembly on top. But yeah, I got a stupid good price on that. And part of that was speaking directly with the customer when they messaged people. Elena Rogers says, I'm here because your videos and format rule. I learn a lot from you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I put a lot of, I don't want to say the word love, but I put a lot of time and effort into this production because I understand, like, you know, somebody can have fantastic information. They can be the smartest person in the world. And I can promise you that's not me. But if it's not in a way that's digestible and not in a way that's enjoyable, you're never going to take the time out of your day to go learn it. Sennheiser is masters in all audio. Yeah, they do fantastic stuff. But thank you to everyone for your kind comments on the show. It's almost go time, guys. You know what that means? That means we're going to cover the most important news of the week, and then 4 hours later from right now, you're going to get an email from E-commerce Bytes highlighting all the exact same stories we talked about tonight. That's what they like to do. Guys, are you ready to start this show? I think I'm ready to start this show. We've got 27 people watching, and we got 14 likes. You guys fix that during the intro. Let's get this party. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group Bolo Roundup Pickers Lounge, coming at you live again from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is June 30th, 2019, and we are broadcasting to you live in high definition. Make sure you click that wheel, and this is the last time I'm going to remind you, we are streaming in 1080p resolution now. But we have a big show, as always, as I always say for you this week. Today we're going to be talking about FedEx and the reasons and motivations as to why they have stopped working with Amazon, why they're ending their contract when it comes up for renewal. On top of that, we're going to be talking about changes that are coming to eBay's mobile checker, something that I've constantly been hearing about inside of groups for the last 3, 4, 5 years, which genuinely carried no weight, but we're going to be talking about tonight. We're also going to be talking about a very, very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about counterfeit goods, and you'll be very proud of me. I have brought a host of examples so that way you can leave tonight having a little bit more information about what to look for out in the field when you truly aren't sure about an item. Now, we're not going to be covering everything, but I promise you, you're going to learn something new tonight that's going to help put more of that money in your pocket. As I've always said, $1 saved is $1 earned. Now, that is my official saying. Anywhere else you've heard it, they've gotten it from this guy right here. On top of that, we got a bunch of small stories too, things that need to get covered, important things that have to be covered this week. But the biggest thing of them all is I had an amazing haul at what I can only describe as what felt like a private estate sale experience. It was a yard sale. Some of the contents are going to blow your mind, because if you can tell from this smile that I have on my face that's dang near ear to ear, it was a heck of an experience. And we're going to be going through, by Susan's request, we moved all of these items up in queue. These items were not going to get seen originally for 3 weeks. And I talked to her on the phone yesterday, and you know what she told me? She said, Jay, you have so much passion about what you just found. You need to tell people about these items while you have them. And that's exactly how she said it to me. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But let's do a little bit of bookkeeping first. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to be here. As always, I understand it's Sunday night and there's 1,000,001 other things to be doing and a ton of other great shows to be watching. But thank you to those of you, the 28 that we have here right now, for taking the time to come by and watch this show. It means a lot to me. Those of you who don't know, this entire show is Patreon funded as well. So if you'd like to help contribute to the process, make sure you check out our Patreon. I'll throw the link up in the comments for you right now so you can help keep us on the air and keep the amazing content coming to you. Now, if you missed out on last week's show, we had quite an interesting one. We talked about cryptocurrency, primarily Bitcoin, as well as Libra. And if you're thinking to yourself, Jay, I don't care about cryptocurrency, it doesn't matter to me. Well, The fact that eBay has partnered up with Facebook and Libra should be very telling to the fact that you should be concerned about it and take the time to go back and watch last week's episode. Spend 1 hour with me. You'll learn everything you need to know about crypto. Okay, you'll learn everything you need to know about Bitcoin, and you'll learn everything you need to know about the future of payments via Libra. We talk about this all the time. You know, it's important to know what's happening right now within our ecosphere. We need to know the changes that are happening that are going to affect our business on the day-to-day. There's a lot of people who are only concerned about today. How are my listings looking right now? How are my listings on the Facebook marketplace? How's my visibility today? And then there's some people that are concerned about next week, you know, making sure like, will I have enough sales coming in based on the number of items that I have? And then some people who are forecasting a month ahead or 2 months ahead or 3 months ahead, and they're being a little more fiscally sound and saying, how much do I need to keep to the side? What's my margins going to be? Do I need to stock up for such and such holiday that's around the corner? But those of us who take this very seriously, those of you who are here right now, we're future forecasting even further than that. And we're looking about a year or so ahead from where we are right now because it's important, okay? We need to know what's going to be happening in the future. We're going to pause for 1 second. Red Neckerson Resales, newest subscriber to our channel, has just given us a $1.47 super chat. Now, if that isn't the most precise amount that I've ever gotten, I don't know what is. Thank you so much for that. We're going to have our on-screen effect coming here in just a moment after we get past our intro, and you'll be able to see your name up there and the ticker total that's going towards eBay Open, which we're going to talk about a little bit today too. So, as I was saying, those of you who are here, we're future forecasting a year plus in advance because we need to be able to understand the changes before they come. Because I can't tell you the number of people that I see online right now that's saying, why is USPS shipping so expensive all of a sudden? Because they didn't take the time to learn about divisors a month and a half ago when I released a video. You know, are people talking about changes to global shipping program or, you know, the countries that we're allowed to ship to and all of these things that you should know if you care about this job and that you can digest through me in hopefully 2 hours each and every week. That's the goal. Get you in, get you out, have a good time, and have you learn something. So last week we talked about that. We also talked about ace and abuse with Amazon, which is a very important thing to understand, and we're going to be following back on that this week. This is why it's important to watch every week. We're going to be talking about the dangers of commingling and counterfeiting within Amazon this week. We're going to touch base on it briefly during our training discussion. We also talked about changes that were happening with eBay AI. Now, we touched base on all the things that eBay has implemented, but I promise you, probably after eBay Open occurs and I have a bit more direct information, a bit more direct intel, we're going to do a follow-up video talking about how you can adjust your listings, maybe the ones that you have active, but at a minimum, adjust your future listings to be able to better utilize this AI technology to increase conversions. Because that's what it's about, right? It's about going and finding cool items or profitable items, depends on why you're here, and then getting them out the door and making a profit and having a good time while you do it. That's something that some people just don't realize. So this week, like I said, I went to this amazing sale, and we're going to look at the items later, but I just want to tell you guys about it. It was amazing. I'm cruising down the street Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. I leave my house, and I really don't want a yard sale. I just don't. I'm not in the mood for it. I didn't sleep well. It was one of those days. And I'm heading down the road, and I pull up to my first one, which I had saw the sign for the previous evening. I pull up, and it's nothing but clothes. And I say, oh, okay, well, you know, that's fine. I go to the next, and I look at 4 different yard sales, none of which inspire me enough to get out of my vehicle. It's probably the first time since I've been yard sailing in the last 3 or 4 months where I haven't gotten out of my car within the first, I'd probably say 20 minutes of yard sailing. Debbie Does Sales, $5 super chat. Can't wait to see you at eBay Open. Hashtag excited. I'm excited too, and I look forward to meeting you as well. It'll be a good time. And if you guys are going to be out there, we're going to set up some type of meet and greet as well. We're going to be having a good old time out there, and we'll take a bunch of photos, and we'll do some, maybe we'll do some on-site training. I don't know. I don't know. If you guys want to go to a thrift store or something with me, or if you guys want to go to a swap meet with me, we'll bring the camera. Well, we can make a whole little vlog out of it and have some fun. But thank you so much for that $5. It's going to help out more than you realize. And those of you who don't know, we're trying to raise $3,000 to cover the eBay Open experience. And if you wonder why, I want you to take a look at the quality of the content we produce and compare and contrast. Our content is very expensive to produce, comparatively speaking. The amount of hours that goes into it, even the prep for today's show, took over 20 hours to get right. So I go through 4 different yard sales, don't even get out of the car for him, and I miss a sign. And I say, you know what? Okay, let's be diligent here. Because at first I was thinking I'm not even going to turn back for it. I'm just going to carry on and keep going forward. But I say, okay, this one's close enough to the house. Let's be diligent. And I loop back around. I make a big old U-turn and I go down the street. And where are we going? We're going into one of the fanciest neighborhoods in the area. Not the fanciest. Okay, we got Seven Oaks, which will be referenced later for an odd reason. We have the Seven Oaks region, and then we have another region which here has your houses that are worth about $500,000 to $750,000 each. And I didn't give too much credence to this at first, but I see a basic white yard sale sign, real plain, okay? And I turn down, I see another one, real basic, real white, and I turn down, and I see a driveway with a big red tape in front of it, and I see a backyard yard sale. And I think to myself, I'm like, my gosh. Every time I see a backyard yard sale, they're garbage, okay? Because people are too lazy to bring their stuff out to the front yard. They're just doing it in the backyard, and I have the lowest of low expectations every time I see one of these. I get out of my car and I waltz on up to the back gate, and as soon as I walk through, I see a lady to my right. Her name is Donna, I believe. There was a Donna and a Diana that I made, so we're going to refer to her as, we'll say Diana. I think it was Diana. So I walk through the gate and I see a lady who I later learned her name is Diana, and I look over my shoulder and I see just a mountain, a pile of vintage goods as far as the eye can see. We're talking furniture, glassware, toys, collectibles, Barbies, everything, textiles, anything, any category you can think of, books, trade goods, tourist goods, as far as the eye can see, just the whole way back. Okay. I immediately dust off my phone, turn my brightness up to max, lift my sunglasses up, pull my headphones out, and I say, it's time to get to work. And I knew the moment I walked through that back gate that I was going to be there for a while. And lo and behold, I spent over 2.5 hours at one yard sale. But this is the stuff that dreams are made of. This is the thing that we talk about all the time. We talk about wanting to go to estate sales that aren't being ran by a company. And I ask him, like, where did all this come from? She's like, well, we just sold the house, and this is Donna at the time that I'm speaking with, and both of these ladies, so you have some context, are in their mid-60s, Caucasian, come from a very affluent life, and they're lovely people, absolutely lovely people to speak to. And they say, well, we just sold the house and we're looking to, just get rid of everything at this point. And a lot of this stuff came down from the attic. And as soon as I hear that, my ears are just like just lighting up. I am excited. And this is where I tell people you really have to keep your composure. Now, I'm going to go and say this right off the bat. There's nothing here that's insane, okay? I didn't make, hundreds or thousands of dollars on anything like that. But it's the quantity of goods and the overall value and then the uniqueness of the goods that really gets me excited. I don't care if something's worth $3. If I've never seen one before in my life and it makes me smile, it might as well be worth $1,000 to me, okay? Because I really love truly unique items. And I have a couple here on my shelf. We might, someday we'll pull them in and we'll talk about them. I have some items that are worth $2 that I can't find another one even if I tried, okay? And those are the types of things that I really enjoy. So I start going through the process of looking through all of the stuff, and I'm building box after box after box of items, and the prices are premium. They're fantastic. They're, it's like, what do you want to pay me for this? And me being the nice person that I am, I rounded a lot of things up. $18 became 20, $9 became, $10. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. So the items I got, you're going to love them. You're going to love seeing them today. We're going to look at them a little bit later in the show. And then I'm going to also talk with you about how I converted this person from somebody that I was just there doing yard selling with to now Okay, I'm in charge of selling 2 of their larger items online, and I've been offered a 50% commission, which I may or may not keep depending on the amount of work that's going into it. I'm going to be selling a roll top desk, and I'm going to be selling a very nice Frigidaire Elite refrigerator. The fridge they wanted to give away for free, and I have captive interested buyers at about the $170 price point. The roll top desk, we're probably looking at about $100 because it has a little bit of damage, and I've also been offered commissions on that. And those are icing on the cake as far as everything that I'm earning here. And then on top of that, I'll be talking about how I converted this situation where they're looking to get rid of all their stuff to they are now offering me money in exchange to clear out the remainder of what's left as soon as the sale is done. So I will be in touch with them over the next few days, also working with a good friend down in Fresno who'll be coordinating with me to help clear out the remaining contents. We are not going to accept payment for the clear out because there's more than enough quality goods there to do that, but we're going to talk about the process, about how you can convert that as well. And while we're on the topic of local, if you don't have enough reason to watch next week's show yet, okay, I want you to take a look at that figure right there, okay? That walked through my door an hour ago, maybe 2, okay? And this was the first piece of my push to buy local goods, okay? I bought a collection of Pops. That one right there on its own is worth over $100, okay? And it was delivered to my house, okay, through a deal that was closed, and the total profit on the entire lot looks like it's going to be about $400 to $500, okay? So next week, we're going to be looking at a lot of local stuff that I picked up as well. So without further ado, let's switch our screens over. Look at that. We got our pretty chat on screen now. Allie, normally I would say better late than never, but you missed a heck of a story. Bluegrass Thrift says you have to be an actor when the good stuff comes out and you want to be cool about it. You know, the word that I think of is stoic. You just got to be, but here's the other thing too. If you look at an item and you look at it with the same amount of joy that the person showing it to you looks at it with, then they're going to be thrilled to sell it to you for next to nothing, okay? If you look at it with dollar signs, they're not going to be happy to do business with you, even if you want to give them the price they want, even if you want to give them more than the price they want. If you don't appreciate the job that we are doing now for the history that we are digging up, you're in the wrong field. That's what I tell people. If you're here for the profits, go do RA, go do OA, if that's all you care about is money. But if you're here for the human experience and the experience of just digging up amazing pieces of Americana and collectible history, oh, that's what brings me the greatest of joy. And I cannot wait to take this cross country because I'm only seeing California stuff, okay? And we don't get antiques and collectibles out here like you guys do over in, Tennessee and Ohio and, all the way out there in the whole way through the Bible Belt. You guys have some amazing collectibles out there. It's nuts, okay? No. So you see, you're calling it an illusion. No, I truly, truly love the items that I find. I can share that same joy with them. Even if it's just the dumbest of items, I can share that joy with them. And we're going to have some great stories here later. We got to get going on the news or I'm never going to make it happen. So let's pull up our first slide, guys. As always, we're going to say thank you to our patrons. That's the first thing that we do every single week. Without our patrons, this show would not happen. So an extra special thank you to Pam, Matthew, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob, who are our top patrons right now. If you would like to earn that coveted spot of top patron, please visit our Patreon. We'll go ahead and throw the link in the description right now. For less than $1 a day, you can have your name up on that screen with everyone else. And if you want some direct training, direct help, direct support, you just want to chat with me about life, we have options for that as well. My hair is everywhere right now. I know I'm just going to make it worse, but, I just can't help it. So we're just going to deal with that for the rest of the show. So, guys, news this week. Let's take a peek at what we got. FedEx and Amazon, they're breaking up. FedEx chose not to renew their contract with Amazon. I believe this news is from about a week ago, just because how the news cycles work. This is directly in part to Amazon saying, we're going to build out our own shipping company. And we talked about this story coming up on about a month ago now, where Amazon was offering people like you and me, as well as their warehouse workers, an opportunity to start their own company to be able to help deliver packages. Why? Because they're trying to switch over to a one-day model, and there just simply isn't the workforce available to be able to do that. How crazy is it when a company is innovating at such an aggressive level that they have to pretty much define and create the category and then build the entire ecosystem to be able to support that idea or that format or that dream? So the idea of moving over to one-day shipping, we've talked about it before, it's going to cost them a whopping $800 million to make this happen. Now, FedEx, being the smart company that they are looking at it on the sidelines and saying, wait, you're doing something with the goal of making what we do currently obsolete. I just want to make sure I understand that. But you still want to sign a contract with us so that we can help you until your service might make us obsolete. Is that exactly what I'm hearing? And you would have to be foolish if you were in FedEx's positions to sit there and say, oh yeah, no, we'll go ahead and we'll welcome that. Just go ahead and trounce us, pay us money now so that you can beat us later. And essentially helping bring that goalpost for them a little bit closer, because they have the ability to lean on multiple couriers as they roll their own thing out. We know this already because they're using UPS, they're using OnTrack, they're using their own first party, and they're using USPS for end of delivery as well. Or they call it last 100 miles or end of delivery, basically doing a handoff between UPS or FedEx to USPS to finish off a delivery for them. So they're using all these different avenues currently to be able to try and get everything down to a one day. And Amazon's basically saying they're not going to have a hand in that. Now the thing is, they're saying currently the cost for Amazon to be able to move these boxes via USPS or FedEx is ranging anywhere between $8 to $9 a box. Now, obviously, keep in mind, we're not talking about just all the smalls. We're talking about the larges as well. That's a factor. That's a range, an average, so to speak, of what they're working with currently. Amazon believes that they can actually get their price down to $6 a box across the board. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, first class is so much cheaper. We're just talking an average comparing, what could be a $200 shipment or a $100 shipment, as well as what is probably less than $2 shipment for them currently. So their average, they say they can get that down to $6 a box. And that's part of why they're looking to step away from this, step away from working with FedEx moving forward, because they know in time they're going to be able to reduce cost. We've talked about the damage that cost can have to a business before in the past. Hello to you, Ashley. Hello to your kiddos as well. I hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, we've talked before about eBay looking to reduce their internal costs, but Amazon's actually putting their money where their mouth is, and they're spending nearly $1 billion. And I promise you, it's going to be closer to 1.4, maybe as much as 1.8 billion after the smoke clears for them to finish up this rollout. The best way to think about this is think about what Costco did. You guys know how you can go to Costco and you can get those filthy cheap hot dogs or those filthy cheap kielbases. And what are they, $1, $1.25, $1.50, somewhere in that area? And they had a problem when one day their distributor, their manufacturer of hot dogs, a company that they contracted, came to them and said, we just can't sell you hot dogs at that price anymore. We just can't do it. It's not within our means. It's not within the finances to be able to pull that off. What did Costco do? Costco said, great, not a problem. And they built their own darn hot dog factory. And they said, we'll just do it ourselves then. We'll make all our own hot dogs. Because rather than having to raise the cost and pass that cost along to the consumer, they brought the product, they brought the project in-house and took care of it themselves, so that way they could strategically keep the prices down, because it was part of their brand identity. Look at Amazon's brand identity. We've talked about this many times before. Innovation, dominance within the marketplace, and now we're starting to see a stab towards pricing in the form of efficient shipping. Wow. And it's no surprise, though. We've said this before. We talked about the market implications of the things that Amazon is doing. eBay as a whole, or eBay the company, is sitting right around $39 a share right now. But if we look at Amazon, Amazon is on track to break $2,000 a share by this Christmas. Wow, that is a nutty figure. They're currently sitting right about $18.50, $18.25 a share right now, with very, very little volatility unless Bezos opens his mouth and he does something crazy. On top of that, Amazon's already been talking with airlines and shipping partners, and not to mention that we've heard them talking before about the utilization of drone technology to try and speed up their packages or to try and reduce their cost overall. And then, as I said already, that we've talked about their first-party team rollout. Now, I will be following up in the future and giving you additional information as we start to see some of these private companies crop up. And if you could do me a favor, if you see a van deliver you a product and it looks like a private company, let us know. I'd love to hear about that. And even if you could snap a picture, that'd be really interesting to see one of these new vans doing their roll around. Now, part of their strategic plan to be able to reduce their actual cost is the utilization of Kohl's. We mentioned this about 2 months ago about how Kohl's locations, about 1,500 of them nationwide, are going to start taking returns for Amazon. How crazy is that? You'll be able to go to your back-end hub, process your return, bring it to an Amazon, and get your refund right there, whether it be credited to your account or cashed out or probably store credit, whatever one you want, be able to get issued to you right there. That is amazing, because when we think about shipping costs and we talk about UPS and FedEx, we're not just talking about business to consumer, we're talking about the full cycle. So if Amazon can strategically reduce its return cost by being able to say, well, don't just send me one item. How about we wait until we have 100 items at this location? We'll throw them on a pallet and bring them back. Or better yet, we'll have a understanding of what's there. Maybe we can short sell it locally. Maybe we can just pallet stack it, have one of our vendors, maybe somebody who's working the California area, be able to process that out rather than having to worry about even sending it back to the warehouse. Because we already have facilities here in California that manage Amazon returns as it is, and if we can reduce one point in the chain, or as I've said before, reduce friction points, and not just on the consumer level, but the business level, that just means more money in everyone's pocket. It means more money in your pocket too. So the big thing that I said before the show even started, about how I don't feel that this is a big deal at all, but we can't sit here and we can take learning lessons away, but I don't feel it's a big deal, because when we looked at what happened with FedEx's stock after this happens, just hear the news right now. FedEx no longer to work with Amazon, cancels contract. What's the first thing you think? You think, man, that their stock is going to tank, right? No. Their stock went down anywhere between 1% to 4% on that day, and we've already seen it rebounding back. The market isn't stupid. And you know what the CEO did that was really smart? He opened his mouth about what happened. He said, oh, no, we're not worried at all. Like, what do you mean? Oh, Amazon only made up 1.3% of our business. It's really nothing to us. And we have other ways of absorbing this loss. We're going to be completely fine. Like, what do you mean? Oh, we just went ahead and signed a deal with Dollar General. So people are going to be able to drop all their packages at Dollar General. That money that we're losing with Amazon, we're going to make all of it right back. We're probably even going to make more because we're not working with them. It'll free up our people to be able to do other things that are more profitable. Slow clap for that. Bravo! That's how a CEO should handle situations that can be damning to your brand. Where is this type of leadership with eBay? I don't mean to be constantly critical of eBay, but things need to happen. They need to be smart. And the reason why I'm mentioning this now is because eBay is going to be in one of our stories here in a bit, and you're going to see the exact example of what a brand should not do while communicating with another brand. Okay? So, like I said, this is very interesting, the FedEx Dollar General arrangement, because we look at what happened with UPS and Office Max. Okay, they were companies that were partnered together for a very long time, a long, long time, and we saw them separate. Okay, and you can't drop your packages off there anymore. Another company that was partnered up with Office Max that we don't talk about often, PayPal. Remember when you used to be able to use their terminal, their POS system? You could enter in your PayPal phone number, enter in your PIN number, and make a payment without ever touching your wallet. I really enjoyed that experience, and then they took that away too. So what is it? Is it Office Max that has the problem, or was it some issue with the individual companies? Why can't UPS make Office Max work? Was there not enough branding? Was there not enough information? But I will say this, here in California, I would not go to a Dollar General to drop off my FedEx package. Okay, Dollar General here in California has done something very strategic, and I don't know if it's something that happens across America, but they've chosen the most low-income areas to plop their locations down in, strategically, okay? Dollar General prices on consumer goods have a tendency to run anywhere between 10 to 20% over the price that you would see at a Walmart, or even more expensive than what you would see, online pricing for an item shipped to your house, like via an Amazon or something to that effect. So I wouldn't go to a Dollar General to drop mine off. I would try and find a traditional FedEx location. Is this a cost management thing? Will this allow them to reduce the number of FedEx stores that they have nationwide and in turn save money again there as well? And Mindy's saying it's a low-end place for people who can't drive. And I think that's one of the things. I really do feel like Dollar General preys on low income with higher pricing because of the convenience factor for those who do not have the ability to make the transportation. So, forgive me, guys. It is dry in here. So, just in conclusion, when we look at FedEx as a whole, they're really playing the long game right now. That's what we see happening. FedEx is playing the long game. They know if we continue to stay with Amazon, it's just going to hurt our brand as a whole. So we're just going to separate. We're going to cut ties. We're going to move forward. Things are going to be great for us. No worries from anyone. So if you have any questions on that story, feel free to leave them. Always appreciate the comments. Jason Blake says, will FedEx also quit offering inbound shipments for FBA to fulfillment centers? I would imagine so. Okay, now here's the thing. None of the stories that I could find could concretely answer that question for me. That was something that I was actually hunting down. And if you'd like, I'll make it a point to reach out to a FedEx rep and see if I can get concrete details on that. But I can't see them wanting to play ball with them. Will it still be an option for consumers? I'd probably say yes, but you probably won't see that aggressive, commercial style pricing the same way that you see for UPS. And then I've also seen people say, it's not something from here in California, but people are saying that they find that FedEx can be cheaper for their inbound shipments. I have never once had that happen. And then I've also heard that it can be more beneficial to be able to get your items in there faster, which can be great for RA or OA type sellers. But those of you who don't know, this channel is generally filled with information for what we call the everyday seller. The people who are going out and hand sourcing one-of-one items, yard sales, trades, shows, thrift stores, etc. That's the type of stuff that we work with, but 100% valid question. I'll try and get some information for you in the future. Bluegrass Swift says, I would like to see Dollar General / FedEx experiment work before I went. They are poorly run and messy. Yes, they are. I work for DG. Some is higher, but they are also a lot that is lower. There can be some stuff that's lower, sure. But, the things that I see that are value priced, it's kind of the type of stuff that I would see at Aldi's in the sense that it's not traditional name brand stuff. And then you always have your items which are going to be technically on sale, but I've noticed that they do work with some, what appears to me to be some closeout items that possibly didn't sell at other stores. But speculation. Let's move on, guys. And I appreciate all the questions and comments. As always, if you would like to help support the show too, I didn't mention this a moment ago, but behind here, you'll see we're trying to raise some money to go to eBay Open, which is less than a month away. We plan on doing tons of live streams. We're going to be covering every single panel as it happens throughout the day. We have a ridiculous amount of gear that we're bringing with us: cameras, mics, tripods, lights, the works. We're bringing everything. It will be the most professional stream that you are going to see this year. If you would like to help us out with our goal, there is a super chat button down here where you can donate to the show. Just click on that little gray dollar sign. You'll be able to help support us with what we are doing. Guys, there was another change happened this week. Mobile checker is now a thing of the past. This is verbatim from the site. Sellers not using custom HTML in their descriptions no longer need to add the viewport meta tag to make their listings mobile friendly. Listings viewed through a mobile device will be mobile friendly by default. Fantastic. But here's the thing, guys. I've never had an issue with this, okay? If you're having an issue with this, that means that you're probably using, Octavia or some type of third-party listing service, or you're using some type of HTML coder or generator for your listings. I can't find any evidence that using one of those tools can actually increase your sales velocity on the site. And I know what some people are going to say, well, my listings look prettier, so people are more likely to buy. It's like, some people don't want that. Me, when I log on to eBay, I enjoy the consistency in the listings, being able to find the description is just a description. It's not full of 40 or 50 other items. We talked about this before. Why does Costco, I know we're using them twice in one day today for examples. You go to Costco to go buy ketchup. How many different types of ketchup do they have? Okay. They have one. Do you know why they have one? Because when there's too many options, it can be overwhelming for the consumer. And they found that if they put 20 options there, sometimes people just won't buy anything. Same thing's true when I look at an item description. For me personally, if it's too much, I'm not even going to deal with it. So those of you who have your listings active already, there's no need to make any changes. All of the listings have been changed for you. On top of that, if you have the code on your listings currently, you will not need to remove it. Leave them alone. You do not need to add your viewport meta tag to any future listings that you're doing with your third-party listing software. Now, we've seen rollbacks on eBay's opinion and feeling regarding using these third-party tools. There's a bunch of them that have been removed where the APIs aren't allowed simply because there's vulnerabilities that are introduced into eBay's backend when they allow other people to apply codes to the listing. We've seen it before where people were able to redirect people out of the main site to clone sites to be able to harvest their information from their bank accounts and their seller accounts and more. Okay? So I can certainly see a time and day where eBay will say, hey, we're just not going to let you do it anymore. Okay? And I think they're going to wait until maybe their first-party presence is as strong as they would like it to be before they roll it back. So I'd say if you're not using them now, probably don't use them, okay? Because a day will come where you're not going to be allowed to. And that's going to be a bit of a nightmare for a lot of people to get that sorted out as well. So, does anyone know who that is in that picture? Okay, I just want to start off by saying that because I showed this to a couple of people and no one seemed to know who that was. I even put it up in my site, and no one seemed to know who it was. So, eBay, Pam knows who it is because I told her who it was. And she said, no one's going to know who that is. So, eBay announced a crash sale. Woo! Whoop-dee. I wish, ew. Woo! What fun. That's great, isn't it? They're going to be, what are they doing? They're crashing Amazon's party. Did that go off twice? Come on now. They're crashing Amazon's party. Okay, and if those of you don't know, that picture, that's Devin Wenig, okay? And yes, I created that myself from scratch. I hope you're happy with it. So, what are they doing? They're looking to crash Amazon's Prime Day. Woo! This is a direct response to Amazon's Prime Day, which is coming this July 15th and 16th. It's 2 days in a row. It's a Monday and a Tuesday, if I looked at my calendar correctly. And we did, in fact, predict these 2 days as being the speculative days for Amazon's Prime Day. Now, I really don't want to go into the specifics of what this actual event is, but we're going to be talking about it at the end. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of in my life. And here's the thing. I don't like being hypercritical of eBay, but sometimes they literally roll out the welcome mat for me. The idea is that they're poking fun at the fact that Amazon's site crashed last year during Prime Day. That is the all of their marketing team and their combined brain power. That was the best idea that they came up with. Let's make fun of a company that had so much success in one day. So many people went there and bought items, so many brand new accounts, and so much traffic to the site, it crashed our site. One of the most robust sites with the largest servers on the planet managed to get crashed by the amount of money they made in one day. Yeah, let's make fun of them for that. Yeah, let's poke fun at the fact that they were that successful. The reality is, and I've said this before, eBay would kill to be able to do that type of volume on a single day, let alone a year probably. Now, the reality is this crash sale, just kind of like Amazon's Prime Day, doesn't really do a whole lot for what we call ourselves our third-party sellers, okay? Unless you're somebody that has massive quantity or volume in a specific first-party good, a product that, people know by name, for instance. You're selling, cosmetics, you're selling home goods, you're selling medications. Unless you have something that's a true first-party good, these types of events don't really help the average consumer. They technically hurt us because they tell the consumers to take their money and they drive their dollars elsewhere. They say, oh, you might have been thinking about buying this, but how about a brand new vacuum? Or how about some brand new cosmetics? Items that we simply don't have. We don't have them in quantity, so it's not really good for us at all. The other thing about this too is they haven't really outlined how this event is going to work. Okay, we do have some minor specifics, but like I said, this is just a weird thing. Okay, because the reality is, it's like when you have like an older brother who's going to college, and you sit there and you're like, well, I'm going to go to college too then. And you throw your little temper tantrum and try and follow up with them after. It just doesn't look good for eBay. We've talked about before. We said, what is eBay's identity? We know what Amazon's identity is, and we know we can look at almost any company. Okay, KFC, what are they known for? They make amazing chicken. Okay, we know what their brand identity is. It's chicken. We look at Amazon. Okay, we know what their brand identity is. It's about selling high quality products at reasonable prices and getting them to you very, very quickly. eBay doesn't have an identity. They used to be an auction house, and now they're essentially a place to buy and sell things online. It's not the place. I guess it's the place to sell used things, but when we look at the volume of used items comparative to new items, it really doesn't feel that way. Okay, it really doesn't feel that way at all. Now, I also noticed too, guys, we got a bunch of people in here for the first time right now. I'm able to see my analytics on screen here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. It definitely helps us out with what we're doing. And then on top of that, if you haven't done so, like our video. Okay, it helps us with the trending. I know some of you guys dislike the video, and if you think you're getting one over on me, you're really not, because even those dislikes help my channel out, whether you like to think it does or not. So thank you to everyone who's taken the time to help us out with both of those things as well. On top of that, I'm really worried about how they're rolling this sale out, because this sale is geared towards first-party products, and they've mentioned some of the brands. They said it's going to be big brands, Kenmore, LG, Apple, and Nike. They mentioned these big brands that they're going to be doing things with. And now they said on July 15th, which is again the same day that Prime Day starts, they said you're going to be looking up to 50% off on AAA brands. Okay, that's just ludicrous. Okay, July 1st to the 7th, they said that they're calling that the 7 days of savings. And if you thought 50% was stupid, okay, they're saying up to 85% off brands, off like quality brands, okay, 85%. How do you do that? How does a brand realistically give 85% off anything? Okay, that means you're going to take an item that has a retail price of $100, okay, and you mean to tell me you're going to sell it to me for $15, okay? And then on top of that, you're going to go ahead and pay your fees to eBay, okay? You're probably only paying 3 or 4%, but you're going to pay your fees to them. And then there's probably going to be no free shipping, but in theory, you're going to have your shipping. But let's say you don't, that brand's going to then pay taxes on that. Well, they might even write it off as a loss, but I just don't understand the logistics behind that. Okay, maybe we're talking factory seconds, maybe we're talking some insane overstock thing, but the reality is it's probably going to be one, maybe two items that we're going to see some deep discounts on. But the reality is, I don't expect to find one item that's going to be worth buying at all. Period. None. But I challenge you to find an item this coming month, that you feel you're going to be able to turn a big buck on. I just don't think it's going to happen. Make a profit for yourself, or get something that you actually want to get for yourself. And then July 8th to this 22nd, this is the thing that really rubs me wrong. It's 2 weeks of new daily deals up to 80% off. Now, the daily deals is a completely different thing. We don't get to sell on the daily deals, okay? You have to be vetted, you have to have the right items, or you have to be chosen, it has to be below a specific price point. We don't get to participate in daily deals, or essentially the secondary site that they have. So they're driving all of these dollars away from us at one of the most important time for a lot of sellers. This is the mid-year lull. We talk about this coming through June into July. People traditionally have lower sales because the last real holiday was a couple months back and the next real holiday is a couple months forward. Okay, there's not much in the way of big money coming in. I have to text somebody so I can get the air turned down a bit. It's hot. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sometimes talking too much will do that to me too. So, like I said, the daily deal thing, it's not really going to be benefiting us all that much. It's just something. I think Redneck said it well. Jealousy. He said, "Why would anyone make fun of someone who is successful? Wouldn't that be jealousy?" It really is. It's a weird thing for eBay to be doing. I don't think that their marketing team really understands the awkwardness and the absurdity of the direction that they're going. Guys, we're going to talk about something important now. We're going to be moving over to detecting counterfeit goods. Now, this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time now. And I've mentioned my background and my understanding for this category for a while. I'm actually going to go ahead and push the comments off screen as well. That way we have a little bit more space to work with each other. Guys, have you ran into or had difficulty with counterfeit items? I find it very important that we give you some type of practical education each and every week while we're here. Guys, you know what I'm going to do really quick? I have to hit the air. It is far too hot. Give me 30 seconds to run downstairs. Guess who's back? Back again. Okay, guys. So, have you ran into counterfeit items or had issues with some items and maybe not been too sure? Or maybe you've been out in the field and you were thinking about buying something and you just wish you had a little bit more information or just a little bit more guidance to be able to make that decision. I find it important every single week to try and talk about something that you can actually take with you and use in the real world and have it benefit you with what you're doing. So today we're going to be talking about commonly counterfeited items, and we're also going to be talking about uncommon counterfeited items, and we're going to be talking about some practical education and things that you can know to be able to safeguard yourself out there in the field. I think I shouldn't have ran up those stairs mid-discussion. Don't you hate it when you drink out of a cup? A droplet of water just fires back right into your eye. So, commonly counterfeited items, in my mind, within my ecosphere, the things that I see the most would be things like purses, money, and premium brand goods. These are the things that I hear talked about the most when it comes to counterfeiting. When we say premium brands, we're talking things like Supreme, Prada, Gucci, and another thing to be mindful of is cosmetics, which we're seeing a whole lot of that happening lately as we have designers, creators coming to the market. We have people like Jeffree Star and Kim Kardashian coming to the market with new makeups, even JoJo, a whole bunch of different creators, and these are very much so being counterfeited. And I see lots of this type of product. It's getting pushed through third-party sites, sometimes Alibaba or iOffer, just different sites. People are able to get it in large quantities, and they're putting it out at swap meets. They're selling it on Facebook Marketplace. They're just pushing them everywhere. Excuse me. And then some of the uncommon counterfeited goods, the things that you don't see all too often, but I promise you are out there and you may not have even thought about them before. We're talking about things like cards, movies, textbooks, believe it or not, drugs. Okay, and we're talking about pharmaceutical drugs in this instance, but all drugs essentially have been counterfeited at some point or another, regardless of the type or purpose for those drugs. TMB Collectible says sports jerseys. Yeah, sports jerseys have been a counterfeited item going back a long time. So certainly something to keep on your radar. Now, me personally, I've never dealt in jerseys, so there's a lot of categories that I won't be touching base on tonight simply because I'm not an expert on it, but please leave them in the comments. All you're doing is helping other people, so it's a very, very appreciated statement. The first thing you want to think about, okay, and I'm going to say this at the end as well, is use common sense. I cannot stress this enough. Use common sense. Does the deal seem too good to be true? Okay, and I'm not saying 100% of the time if it's too good to be true, it's not, or but if you use a little bit of sense, it's going to take you a very, very long way. Okay, but at the same time, there are certain counterfeits, believe it or not, which are going to be worth money still, even as a fake. There's fake Rolexes. There's fake shoes that can still fetch good money, but you want to be mindful about how you go about selling things that are knowingly counterfeit. Don't buy a counterfeit good with the intent to sell it as authentic. If you want to buy it as a counterfeit and sell it as a counterfeit, as long as it's legally allowed, then by all means, okay? But do it with ethics and be mindful of what you're doing. So, as a broad overall statement, okay, we're going to talk about some of the things that I use to better understand what is counterfeit and what isn't. One of the biggest determining factors, and I know it's going to sound a little bit loose, is quality, okay? Does the item reflect the quality that you would expect of the specific brand, okay? Certain brands have a very, very high quality standard when it comes to the things that they produce, okay? We're talking with things like clothing or handbags. We're talking about the tightness of the stitching sometimes. Does it feel like it was machined well? Okay, when we look at certain textiles, is the textile supposed to line up? Is the artwork on a box supposed to be aligned correctly? Okay, here's an example for you guys. And I have a lot of examples here, and I hope you guys appreciate it. It's not easy to get these. Okay, has anyone seen the show The Wire? Okay, Wire complete season here? Okay, how does this look for you? Okay, when you look at this item. Okay, now right off the top, we call this Spot UV. Okay, you see how it's glossy through the letters and then it's matte everywhere else? Okay, this was shrink wrapped. Okay, and this was at an Amazon table. Hold on one second. Down to 3. Ryan's still in 200K. Holy cow. How is everyone else seated right now? So those of you who don't know, my friend Joe just dropped in. He's my ringer to keep me up to date on the poker tournament that's going on right now that I'm supposed to be watching. But yeah, we see this. It's called Spot UV. Okay, now if you saw this, and you saw this completely shrink wrapped, okay, inside of an Amazon return pile with hundreds of other items, okay, and you look it up online, and it says that's $40, would you have any qualms about buying it? Okay, Daniel bought this, and I no disrespect to Daniel, and you know what, I may have made the same mistake, honestly, because if it was in the shrink and it looked the part, okay, I don't think I would have had an issue with it. And Joe, this might be a good lesson for you too. But when we take a closer inspection of the actual item, these are some things that you can see from the exterior of the item. I want you to take a look at how this artwork is lined up, not only here, okay, but look at the letters here, and then even here. Now, you might say, oh, that's pretty insignificant, it's not that big of a deal, but these failures in manufacturing are some of the biggest dead giveaways. Now, I believe NBC or HBO, one of these premium brands, or HBO Video is one of the brands behind producing these box sets. Ask yourself, would HBO produce a box set with unaligned artwork? Okay, if we look at the bottom, okay, this, I can't remember what this is called. It's like a velvet finish. If we look at the bottom and we look at the alignment, sorry, let me get my face off screen. If we look at the alignment of that bottom, we can see that paper, you see how it doesn't meet the edge? See how there's that awkward gapping? And you can even see where there's some spots where it's been pressed in as well. Now, this same type of thing happens here on the back side too. Now, HBO, I've handled their box sets before. They're very, very nice box sets. Okay, everything's going to have the correct finish. The seams are going to meet up nicely. The artwork is going to meet up nicely. So we have to ask ourselves, what would have happened if you got duped? Okay, this is in the shrink wrap, and it looks the part and everything's fine, and you have clearance to sell this on Amazon. You mailed it into Amazon, and then the consumer got it, and then you got sued. Okay, you got sued because you sold a counterfeit good and represented it as an HBO authentic item, which can happen, and you can get sued for quite a lot of money, And you can have your Amazon account shut down for it. And if you're one of those people who are watching right now, you're like, no, Jay, it can't be counterfeit. Okay, so we're going to open this up. And Daniel opened this up when he first had his suspicions after he got back. So if we look here at the spine, we can really start to see that the quality is not there. Okay, because these numbers should be aligned in the center. The artwork should line up properly. And if we open one of these up, you can even hear that they've added in these little plastic protectors around the CDs. And see how deep this is inside of here? This would never be something that would happen with an official product. This would seat in the correct place right there, just like that. Okay, and we know this. Okay, now if we pull the CD out, okay, I want you to look at the aligning or the alignment of the artwork. The artwork should be centered. And then we also have issues with the actual, I'm sorry about the focus, guys. We have some issues with the actual clarity of the words and letters. There we go. The words and letters that are on there. They're just not correct. Okay. I am impressed that they did laser etch the interior of the disc, though, with the actual thing that they're looking to do. Now, can you sell this on eBay as a counterfeit good? No, you cannot, okay? How much is this item worth? As much as somebody's willing to pay you if you're legally allowed to sell it in your current jurisdiction, okay? As far as I know, unauthorized reproductions of digital media goods aren't allowed to be sold anywhere in America knowingly as counterfeit goods. If you know they're counterfeit, I don't believe you're allowed to sell them, period. And the last thing I want to touch base on, if we look here at this end cap, okay? I want you to look at this HBO video. My camera's catching up with the focus. Give it a second, guys. See that HBO video down there? That is not anywhere near as sharp as it should be. And do you see how that red line goes over the DVD logo? That, again, is not something that would be in place or expected with a brand of this caliber. Now, if this was, I don't know, some local TV channel or local TV station, some smaller production, some, somebody, let's say a church ministry, and they had a big event and they recorded 10 DVDs worth of stuff and the quality was like that, you could look at it and say, you know what? I can expect that to be something that would happen with a brand of that style, okay? Other things we're looking for the overall feel of the materials. Do they feel like what you're paying for? We're looking at the overall richness of the color. Here's an example of color being off, okay? This is a copy of Pokemon Heart Gold for the Nintendo DS, okay? And the way that we know that this is counterfeit is, one, the coloring is very much so off on this comparative to an authentic one. The authentic one has a bit of a metallic flake to it. Now, I'm sure what you're thinking. You're like, Jay, if I bought one of these, how the heck am I supposed to know when I have it? Well, there's a few things you can do, okay? The first thing you can do is you can do your own independent research, find images of this that you believe to be authentic, okay? Now, eBay has hundreds of counterfeits of this item available for sale. So would you check eBay as your first place to check for authenticity on this item? Heaven no, okay? Where would we check? We would check a reputable game vendor, which would be a GameStop or what's the other one? There's a big JJ Games, okay? They move a lot of video games online. Now, what if you don't have the means to do that, or you checked and you're still not sure? First thing, reach out to your mentor or your coach. If you don't have a mentor, sign up for our flippin' Patreon already, okay? I'll be a mentor in your back pocket, because a counterfeit one of these is only worth about $6, and I wouldn't recommend selling it. An authentic one of these can be worth upwards of $60 to $70, okay? Did I buy this as a counterfeit knowing it? Yes, very much so. When I owned a game store, I purchased counterfeits. I also purchased this one, knowing that they were fake, so that way I could talk with everyone about them. And then also, I know Super Nintendo fake cartridges are something that we're seeing more and more, but I purchased this one almost 7 years ago, okay? Before we really had a problem in the market, okay? And there's a lot of things that were wrong with this one. If we look at the clarity of the printing on the back, you can see it just does not meet the standards which we would expect of a company like Nintendo. It's a massive company. Now, that's a great point there too. So the first thing I would say, do your own independent research. If that doesn't pan out for you, reach out to your mentor, reach out to your coach. Okay, everyone should have one. Unless you feel as confident as I feel within the industry, you should have a mentor or coach. They're not expensive. They're going to help you along. They're going to revolutionize your business and help you be more profitable. They don't pay for themselves. If you have a mentor and you're paying him $300 a month, but he can produce $600 a month for you profit, you keep him. Okay. If you have a mentor that costs you $20 a month and he doesn't help you make $20 more each month, you fire him. Okay. So everyone should have a mentor or coach. Whether me or anyone else, you should all have one. On top of that, contact the brand owner. That's another great way to go about verifying a product. You can reach out to most companies and say, hey, I'm not sure if this is real. I can let you know where I purchased it in the event that it turns out not to be real if you want to take action. But if you could authenticate it for me, it'd be truly appreciated. I do not wish to disparage your brand name with a counterfeit item. My goal is to be able to sell it for a profit, but I'd like to do it the correct way. Okay. And if that still does not work, and for some reason you really can't find the truth anyway, again, full circle, use common sense. Okay. If it's too good to be true, if the pricing's too good to be true, if the condition is too good to be true, it's probably not. Okay. And the last example that I have for you guys tonight, it's Pokemon cards. I don't understand. Okay, if you look at these, you're like, man, those are cool looking Pokemon cards. Okay, these are, clones of GXs, EXs, some of the super rare cards. And there's a lot of ways to detect counterfeits on these, but the first one is, okay, if these were all authentic, would be, probably a couple $100 worth of cards, maybe 100 to as much as 250, depending on what's in there, what's being played, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Now with Pokemon cards, there's a ton of ways, but this is kind of true of all cards. Okay. If it doesn't have the right feel, so this one has a very, very shiny back, and most Pokemon cards traditionally don't. The same thing's going to be true with things like Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, Legend of the Five Rings, whatever collectible trading card game you're in, compare it with other cards. Now, there's obviously some variation between sets or between eras on cards, so don't completely rule something out if it doesn't look identical, but use common sense. We talked before about it too. We talked about the overall print quality, okay? Now, Pokemon card, the card company, you're probably looking at that and you're saying, man, that looks absolutely fantastic. I don't see anything wrong with that. My seasoned eyes are saying, no, the coloring is wrong, and I can see some artifacting as well. I can see breakdown of the actual graphics. Now, are these some of the best ones I've seen? They're up there. They are really up there. But when we're talking about collectible cards, okay, sometimes we're talking about cards that sell for, $300, $400, $500, okay? There's a lot of motivation to counterfeit a card like this, okay? Sometimes we're talking about cards, okay? I don't know if I have them on me. Let me see if I can reach them. Hold on. I thought I had easy access to them. I don't. Sometimes we're talking about, Magic the Gathering cards, which can comfortably, which sounds disgusting, comfortably get into the thousands of dollars. Okay? So we're talking big, big, big bucks that some of these cards can trend their way into. It's a little bit nuts. Okay? So that was my basic introduction to you on counterfeiting. Guys, use common sense, use indicators, textures, feel, overall quality, talk with the manufacturer, talk with your coach or mentor, and, at the end of the day, if you're really, truly not sure, just don't buy it, okay? It's another one of those dollars saved. Nobody likes to leave money on the table, but what feels worse, okay? Missing out on making $100 or having $10 stolen from you, okay? Which one would have a bigger emotional impact on you right now? Okay? Because most people won't gamble $10 with the prospect of winning $100. You wouldn't buy a $10 scratcher when you know there's an odds of you winning $100. Okay? So you wouldn't do the same thing if you saw a counterfeit good. I'm expecting Richard to say, yes, of course, I would 100% buy a $10 scratcher. Richard says, if you're in our group, I would be happy to help with video game counterfeits. Now, here's the thing, Richard. Okay? I am considered one of the foremost experts on counterfeit video games. And I would love to go toe-to-toe with you someday on counterfeit goods, because I have never found anyone who could outdo me when it came to detecting counterfeits. I can tell by the touch, the feel of the plastic alone, just one finger across the back on a Super Nintendo game, and I can tell. So I'd be very impressed. We should go toe-to-toe someday. It'd be a good time. I'll bring a mix of my best fakes, because these aren't even my best. I'll bring my best fakes and my best authentics, and you bring yours as well, and we'll go toe-to-toe and see what we can figure out. So let's bump back over to here, guys. We have one more slide for you today. Compliments of Jason Hand putting together some images for us. We got a small reminder, guys. Today is your last day to get your shipping supplies if you have an eBay store. You get free supplies every quarter as an eBay seller if you have a store. Make sure you follow the process up here. There's some good images. Pause the video if you need to. You can pause it right now and then press play and come back to it as soon as you've done this, but this is your last night to do it. Those of you over on the East Coast, I would say pause it right now and go ahead and get that done, and then come back and then follow through to your subscriber discounts. And those of you who have already used it, like me, ordered the wrong item and now desperately need size 0 bubble mailers, tomorrow your code will be available. So I'll be up at 12:01 a.m. ordering some bubble mailers tonight because I refuse to buy them with my own money. Basic stores are going to get $25. Premium stores are going to get $50. If you have an Anchor, I believe you get $100. Get your free supplies, guys. Get them while they last. On top of that, we have some other tiny news that we're going to be talking about today as well. Prime, like I said, is just 2 weeks out. Hopefully they'll have some type of discount for signing up for a Prime membership. I've been looking for an incentive to looking for an incentive to sign up, hopefully a discounted rate. I'd be willing to spend $60 on Prime. I'm not going to spend $100, but I'd be willing to spend $60. I can see it paying for itself that way. Today I learned that you can buy disposable toaster oven trays only on Amazon. They do not have an eBay presence, at least not the brands that I saw. There might be an opportunity for OA there for some of you guys who are hot for that stuff. But yeah, the things that you Google. And I noticed that the free shipping only applied to Prime buyers. So that in itself probably saved me $12 on shipping. On top of that, eBay Open is only or less than 1 month away at this point, guys. Those of you who do not know, like I said, I'll be offering the most comprehensive coverage you will find. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be producing all of these overlays. We're going to have custom overlays for each and every panel to be able to deliver you the best news. After each panel ends, I plan on jumping on air, hopefully getting back to the room, and I'm going to have a studio set up and everything. We've got an extra large room to be able to use as our studio space, to be able to have guests come up and do interviews. I will be spending some time with a handful of different creators within the space, a couple of big names you might know, but I'm not going to throw them out right now. And then we're also going to be making very, very conscious efforts to get one-on-one time with the people of eBay, as well as a handful of different brands that are going to be represented on the main floor. If you have questions for any of the brands that will be there, there's a bunch of them. I know WorthPoint's going to be there, and I definitely want to talk with them. But if you have questions for those brands, I will be taking those questions with me there, and I will get them answered on camera. You can send them to our Instagram at Reseller Roundup. If you want to submit your questions, send them on over there and we'll keep track of them. If you'd like to help support us getting there, hit that super chat button or sign up on Patreon. But yeah, we're going to be doing some fantastic live streams. It's going to be a ton of fun, but it's also going to be a ton of work. And then we're also going to set up some type of meet and greet as well, but I'll be following up with that here soon. Now, with that being said, guys, here's the trade-off. I will not be sourcing any more until eBay Open. And I know some of you guys are going to be a little heartbroken to hear that, but the reality is I just can't keep doing it. I've got 4 bins worth of products over here to my side, and I've got 2 more bins downstairs. I have far too much stuff that I haven't shown you yet because I will not list an item until I've shown it to you first, and I've gone on a little bit of a tear over the last 7 days. It's been very, very bountiful for me here, as we talked about a little bit earlier. So I will not be sourcing anymore because I have to get ready for the event. So that's why your funding is so important to me. But I will need to be taking a lot more personal time, odds are next week's show, unless something crazy happens, will not contain news. Next week's show will most likely be a pickup show where we're only going to be showcasing items, and we're also going to be doing a last stab fundraiser to help out with eBay Open. Because as of right now, we are well behind budget. So that's where we're going to be at. We're not going to have a traditional show next week. It'll probably be just pickups because I need to get through all the items and get 100% of them listed before eBay Open, because I do not want to come home to work. I want to come home, do my pack and ship, and then carry on. And then that Sunday show that we're going to have is going to be a huge show when I come back. It's going to be at the end of July, right around July 30th, roughly 1 month from now. We're going to have a massive eBay Open update where we're going to cover 100% of the stories. So even if you miss some of those live streams, the content is still going to be available. Richard Eberhardt says, 1 month, somehow I highly doubt you could hold off. That's what Susan said to me. Susan said, you're not going to last even a week. And I said, Susan, I have stuff I have to get done. I have to get this stuff done for eBay Open. People don't realize how time intensive it is. Pat says, I went sourcing last week and got 7 pallets of equipment. That's enough to last me through the summer or until it starts cooling off again. Is it still? Oh, it's too hot for you? Yeah, and that's the other thing too, guys. My sourcing, I guess this is the trade-off. I am not going out to source. I am only running ads and handling inbound phone calls. And we've talked about this before. I've said I've been meaning to do it. I can make more money staying at home than I can going out. I enjoy going out, and that's why I do it, but I could comfortably make $300 to $500 a day just staying home, running targeted ads, and dealing with client phone calls. That's truly all you have to do, okay? If you're going to take nothing away from everything that I've taught you up until now, if you are not running ads in your own town, you are taking thousands of dollars every month and just throwing it straight into the wind, okay? And I didn't have the means to, because I was so backed up with the show and everything else, that this week was the first week that I actually started running ads, and I'm already up several $100s from it, and I'm genuinely not even trying. I only ran 6 ads on Craigslist and 2 ads on Facebook. That's all it took. So run your ads, guys. I'm going to be changing how I'm sourcing. The next big news that we have coming up is that we have a shareholder call with eBay on July 17th, and they're going to be giving us their Q1 update numbers. And it's interesting timing. It's right ahead of eBay Open. So I know numbers are going to be down. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But it's interesting timing. I'm surprised they didn't wait until the end of the month to do that. And then also eBay is doing orange is the new black exclusive items for sale right now. So if you have a eBay account for some reason, you buy stuff on eBay. I do all the time. I'm just giving them trouble. And you like orange is the new black, they have a ton of prop items, costumes, and everything that they're selling via auction. Some of the prices are surprisingly cheap right now, but the shipping is stupid on every single thing I've seen. It's roughly $30. I don't know if that's because it comes with some type of like frame COA or some type of collector's box or some nonsense, but it is far more expensive for the shipping than it should be. I don't know if it's a cash grab or they're trying to offset their fees or something, but I don't know why it's that expensive. If you're a fan of the show, definitely go check it out. Let me take a look at some of these comments. Not in our DNA, LOL. Besides, those ads are considered sourcing. They are sourcing, but they don't require any time. So I'll spend 1 hour putting them up at the beginning of the week, maybe 5 minutes every other day renewing them, and that's really it. So I'm not going out and sourcing because that takes a lot of time. That's my 10 to 15 hours a week, depending on how aggressive I am. This type of work might take 5 hours a week, but I know for a fact I'm going to make more money doing it. It's just, you guys like seeing stuff, so I go buy stuff for you and then sell it online. And obviously I like making money too, but only as much as I need. We got Future Fortunes in the house. Thanks, Jay. Making it even. I appreciate that, buddy. Here, I want to take a look. Can I look at your channel through here? Did you guys go and subscribe to him yet? Okay, here, I want to go look. Because he had 1 subscriber before the show started. One of you went and subscribed. Could you guys go subscribe to Future Fortunes? Throw him a darn bone. He doesn't even have any videos yet, but he's going to be making some content soon. Okay? Help the guy out. Thank you so much for that $6.54. I do appreciate it. What's that put us at now? Let's see. Oh, so that's going to roll us up to $1,090 as soon as that updates. I truly do appreciate that. We'll go ahead and leave it on this screen until it rolls on over. And then we'll just leave it that way until somebody destroys it again. Okay, so like I said, when I was talking earlier at the beginning of the show, top of the hour, we talked about how I met the lovely ladies, Diana and Donna, and we were talking about the process that I went through of looking through their items. It was amazing. Like I said, I went through box after box after box of stuff, and you build a real connection with the person when they invite you inside of their house and they share with you some of the things that are of most significance to them. I learned about her. I learned about the passing of her husband 9 years ago and the process that she's gone through where she's currently downsizing from a $500,000 home to a 2-bedroom home and how she feels a little bit awkward about that. And I was able to share with her my experiences of going from a very large house in Fresno off Huntington Boulevard. She was even familiar with the street to now a very modest loft because it saved me quite a bit of money and allowed me to pursue and do more of the things that I wanted to do. And I feel she found solace in hearing some of the stories that I shared with her. But we were really able to build a great bond. She has a fridge, too, that she asked for assistance in getting sold, which she was originally looking to give away. And I said, let me help you make some money. And like I said, she offered me a commission, but I do plan to refuse it. I want her to take the money and go have joy with it because, life is short, okay? And she has fewer years than I do, and I'd really rather her go enjoy herself with a little bit of the money that she's going to get from that fridge, maybe $150 or so. It's just the right thing to do, guys. But she was able to show me some stuff within the house that other people didn't get to see, and as we were passing through, she shared with me the fact that she has a massive interest, hobby, love, joy with clocks. And we walked around and we looked at some of her different clocks that she had throughout the house. She had one that was worth well over $1,500, and it was hand balanced and needs a special crew to move in the same way that you would move a piano. And she had some really big modern looking pieces as well, and just a whole host of unique clocks. And she had one that was no longer working, and she was talking about taking it to the company in town to get it fixed. And I looked at it and I said, whoa, a Seiko wall clock. I told her I have never seen a Seiko wall clock ever, not especially of this scale. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? You can have it. I said, really? And she said, no, go ahead. You can have it. I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a promise, okay? I'm like, this clock will stay with me, okay? I won't be selling it. And what I'm going to do, too, because she told me that it doesn't work, and the last clock she tried to get repaired took 6 months to get fixed from the shop. And I said, I'll tell you what, okay? I know how to do some repairs, okay? And what I'll do is I'll repair and I'll restore this clock back to its full functioning form, and I'll send you over some pictures of this bad boy working. And if you want it, I'll even give it back to you as well. So this is going to be a project. We're going to be doing a full restoration on this, which means removing all of the oxidation. And you can see the oxidation on the back as well. Removing the oxidation we're going to have to tape off all of the black parts, and then we're also going to fix the clock assembly on the inside as well. We may need to order some parts for that, but just like our last one, we did it on Facebook Live within our group. So if you want to see the process of this happen, as well as a bunch of other items that are going to get restored as well, definitely want to tune in for that. And I'll keep you posted. It's probably going to happen after eBay Open, but it's going to be a fun little project. And if she decides she doesn't want it back restored, I'm going to keep this thing. I've always been a fan of the Seiko quality and the branding. I used to watch Formula One racing as a kid, and all of the timekeeping was done with Seiko. So that's another one of those things that I would love to own someday, is a really nice modern Seiko wristwatch. It's something that's on my list of opulent things to own someday, but I'll probably be in my 40s by the time that happens. But I just really wanted to share this with you guys. It has a glass face on it, which I think it's a glass face. It feels very cool to the touch, so I'm almost positive it's glass. I have no clue what this is worth, and I have no intentions on selling it, but I just really wanted to share it with you guys so that you could enjoy that little bit of a story with me. So now we're going to take a look at what is an insane amount of items. We have about 45 minutes until we wrap up this show. If I show you anything and you would like a little extra detail on it, I'm already a natural storyteller of these items as it is, but if you want more information, don't be afraid to ask. Patrons, as always, everything that you see during the show is available for sale at cost as a thank you for being a patron to the show. If you are a non-patron, you'd like to buy it, of course, you can get it below eBay cost as well. So all of these items haven't seen the light of day in over 20 years, and we have some stuff that's modern. We're going to see a few things like that, and then we're going to have some stuff that's a little bit older as well. We're going to have some stuff that's common too. I apologize for that. They did have some items that they just essentially brought out themselves. We got a dowdle puzzle. I'm not going to speak much on this and just basically say these are supposed to have outer sleeves with them. When these are new, you can get good money for them on Amazon. Usually the baseline is about $16 and it goes upwards to roughly, I don't know, about $45 for the right design. I'm going to show the design because I know Susan, I got this. This is a gift for Susan. I know she's watching. So this is what the puzzle design is. She loves puzzles like this. So this is going to be going out to her. And there are one or two items that have been previously claimed. So I can't help with that. Guys, I got a host of plush. I did not look up any of the stuffed animals. I used pure intuition on every single stuffed animal purchase that I made. I roughly am into any given one of them for about $1 each, which is what I would be happy to pay at a thrift store. So I really wasn't going to bicker much at a yard sale, especially given some of the ones that I did find. This is a Roger Rabbit. I've never ever seen a Roger Rabbit plush before. I don't know why. They just never come my direction. I may have seen tiny ones, but I've never seen a full-size Roger Rabbit. Now, let me see if he has a butt tag or a leg tag. It's probably underneath of here. But if I had to gauge this, I mean, this is going to be right when the movie came out. I don't know if it came out late 70s, early 80s. I'm going to say early 80s if I had to take a stab, 81, 82, 83, somewhere in there. That's probably where this is from. Could use a gentle cleaning. We're going to be talking about stuffed animal cleaning and restoration on that stream as well. But very, very cool piece. Richard's saying early 80s as well. Let me see if we can... Sometimes what I'll do is I'll fish this probably looks horrendous. I'll fish the finger around and try and find, okay, I found the tag. So it's deep in there. This is a Play School brand, which I was not expecting. It says Roger Rabbit. It's really tucked down in there. I don't want to damage it. We are both wrong. 1988. Okay, Mindy's saying somewhere between 30 and 40. You know, I would have pegged this bad boy around $25 is what I'm thinking. And overall, though, he is dusty, okay? But the embellishments are in really great shape. So the bow, this would probably most likely be very, very tattered with other examples. And then the overall texture and feel of the corduroy material is still very good shape. The strings on the backs of the hands are all intact. These are things that you want to be considerate of when it comes to listing items like this. When you're looking at your comps, okay, if one is missing a string, that's not your comp. Okay, if one has all the texture missing, or a button missing, or the bow is frayed, those are not your comps. You want to comp with the best or the closest to what you actually have. It can be the difference between listing this for 25 or listing this for 65. If you have the best example online, okay, and other ones that are a little bit off, why not ask $100? You know, is there any harm in that? If you have the best one available for sale anywhere online, ask top dollar on it. There is no harm at all. So even with these plush, given their age, you'll notice with newer, more modern plush, I'll just take them and I'll toss them to the side. These I am gently placing down online because every bit of the condition is going to be important to the final sale price of the item. Let me scoot over. I feel like I'm out of position. Here we go. Are you guys learning stuff tonight? You know, I told somebody the other day who's like, yeah, I just don't know if I have time to watch your show. And I said, I'll tell you what, okay? Watch my entire show. Watch it for the full hour. If you don't, or 2 hours. If you don't learn anything, I'll give you $100. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's not possible for you to sit through my entire show and not learn something. And that's not me being, you know, pompous or anything. There's just so much information that we cover in a 2-hour period. So, and guys, if you haven't done so, tell somebody about our darn show, okay? Just share the link, put it on your timeline, let other people know. That's what helps me out the most. We got some of these Pack Max compression bags. I might even use these. I don't know. Brand new box, $15 to $20. They're complete. They had them when they were doing a lot of international travel. And I paid essentially what came out to about 50 cents on that. We have a Roger Rabbit orange hair here. Oh, this is an interesting one. I don't think I've ever had one of these on air before. And that's the other thing, too. People ask me, like, what kind of stuff do you buy? Everything. All of it. This is a first class bag, or it says upper class. I don't know if that's the equivalent thing. And this is, I believe, Virgin Air. Let me check. Yes, Virgin Atlantic. And these little goodie bags that they give out to people who are staying in first class, business class, upper class. Oh man, one of these is a little popped open. But yeah, you'll see the Virgin Atlantic cosmetics companies. We got the Kleenex, we got the cosmetics. We have the eye, what do you call it? The shroud. A really nice Virgin pen. That's a high quality pen, very heavy. These first class pouches do sell online. People collect these. People collect airline accessories. I would be surprised if this sold for less than 15. I could see it being as high as 20, maybe 22. I didn't look this up. I have no clue. Again, essentially 50 cents is what I paid for this, but very interesting piece. You do not see these things very often. I bought some clothing. I don't know why. Some of the textiles that I purchased they were either so cheap or they were so unique that I felt I had to get them. And don't even ask me why. I picked up this sweater. Tell me this isn't adorable, okay? It says it says I love you on there. That's so cute. Really, really high quality sweater and still in great condition. This is probably from the 80s as well. It says 100% acrylic. This is JJ Poole, Poole brand. Okay. It does not have a manufacturing year on it, but it's in great, great shape. And I know some of you guys have you think about it, cute daughters, they would look adorable in something like this. So I picked this up. I'm probably going to get at least $20 for it. I know that seems nutty, but someone's going to buy that. That might even be a Facebook Marketplace type play if it turns out that that brand doesn't carry much weight. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some search results for that. Adam Schubitz. Do you watch, what is that guy's name? The guy who does all the MRE reviews. You know who I'm talking about. God, what is his name? Here, I'm gonna find out really quick because I don't want to, because you know exactly who I'm talking about. Let me see. Hold on one second, guys. If you guys don't know, the reason why I feel I understand YouTube better is that I've been spending the last probably 8+ years on YouTube, and I understand the ecosphere. I understand a lot of the creators and the way that they make their content, and I've picked up a lot from them. And I love the channels that I'm subscribed to are channels that I just have so much respect for because they put so much effort into their work, or they're pioneering new categories and just doing things that other people aren't doing. I think I'm subscribed to roughly 200 channels or so, but I don't have traditional cable TV anymore. All I have is YouTube. Let me see. Steve, 1989. Thank you. That's exactly it. Yes. It's like today we're going to be opening up a 1946 Korean single man ration. He's like, this one's a little bit of an oddball one because it has the ham and cheese, which is not one that we see all too often. Now, the cheese is probably going to be really rank, but, hopefully the biscuits will be okay. And this guy does MRE reviews, and they're fantastic ASMR if you're looking for something to kind of drone out to and watch before bed. But he has so much passion for what he talks about. He loves talking about MREs. It's great. Joe 30725 dropping in that hot $1.99 super chat saying hello with a yellow face. That face is probably dabbing right now too, huh? Thank you, Joe, for your $2 super chat. As always, I do appreciate them, buddy. And are you going to eBay Open? I don't know if I asked you or not. I know you're you got a little love-hate thing with eBay, but I wasn't sure if you were going to be going or not. But if you are going, everyone who's going, make sure you reach out to me. I would love to meet up with you guys. Speaking of plush, somebody's going to want to snipe this one from me, and I think it's going to be worth a little bit too much to want to give away. I've never seen one of these before. I know I say that a lot, but here's the thing, guys. For me to stumble across plush that I have never seen before, people refer to me as the darn plush king. I have never seen this one before. Fantastic shape. This is from Disney World. It's not from one of the Disney stores, Disney World. Okay. Burbank, California is where it was produced at. I'm not seeing a year on this, but again, I'm going to have to put this right around when the movie came out. It's a boo. And look at, we even got really nice stitch quality on the feet as well. I really like the fact that this is just a simple piece of felt that's been cut and stitched together. So this isn't, some type of like your modern ones, you'll see like some type of exotic, like poly material, extra embellishing. This is very, very basic. He has his ears too. It's a 2-piece ear here that he has going on with just simple stitching down the center. What really makes this piece unique, okay, and makes it really, really special is we have a plastic face here. Okay, a hollow plastic face here. But when was the last time you saw a toy like this from the late 80s, early 90s, Mindy's saying 92, okay, where you have paint on, I don't even want to touch it, honestly, where you have paint on top of plastic, and this hasn't been marred, this hasn't been rubbed to the point where it's been removed. Look at the overall condition of this plastic. This right here can be cleaned up. This can be gently cleaned up. We have one small spot here across the eyebrow, which I will actually restore that. If the money is there, if I can fetch the upper end, what I think, without doing any research online, okay, given the condition, because people will ask about the condition of plush. Now, they're generally talking about the softness of the material, and most times, when you have plush that are from the early 90s or late 80s, what'll end up happening is you'll see the plush here. This is a stylus, by the way. Look at the amount of softness that it still has. You can see that it's still, here, I gotta zoom in. You can see that it's still very soft, still moving. It's not bunched up, and they call it matted. Okay, people do not like matted plush. This has all of the life within the plush still. Here, we got to get to focus. You think it'll focus on Apu's? Yeah, it'll focus on him instead of me. So this is still very, very soft, not matted. So this is one of those items which it seems so dumb to consider that something like this could fetch $100. But if you have the best one available in the world and you place it online, you get to determine what you want for it. I don't care if you show me 500 examples of this. I didn't look it up. You show me 500 examples of this for $30 a piece, okay? Because if I can step in and say, mine still has the hat, there's no issues with the stitching. Look at this hair, okay? This is still, here, I'll even put it in the fan. I don't know if I can tilt the fan up. You can see it even blows in the wind. It is not matted even in the slightest. And that fan's there to keep my computer cool. There's no reason why I can't say, I want $100 for this because I have the best one available in the world at the time that I list it. How is that unreasonable? Because any buyer has the decision to make. They can say, you know what? I'm okay with getting the $40 one that's at 95% condition. But there's going to be other people out there who are going to say, you know what? I want the one that is 100% the best one online, and I'm okay paying that. That's a fine price for me to pay for that item. Okay, so a little bit of restoration, little tiny bit of work to get this to 100%. I'll probably even brush this fur here on this arm just to get it all standing up, facing the same direction and everything. And we'll talk about that plush restoration as well. But don't be afraid to price aggressively, guys. We had, and no disrespect to the person who posted this, she posted it within our group. She talked about a camera that she had sold very, very quickly. And, some of the comments basically alluded to the fact that money was left on the table. And, that can happen to us. It's happened to me. I've made mistakes on controllers for Atari. I didn't realize that there was such a big difference between the Pong controllers that say Atari and the Pong controllers that say Racing. I didn't think it was a $40 difference. I had no clue, okay? Or the ones with the joysticks. There's variations there too. I had no clue, and it was a learning lesson for me. It was a lesson that I paid for, okay? And those things are going to happen sometimes. But what I'm getting at, though, is don't be afraid to price aggressively, especially when you're unsure, okay? There's no harm in that. Let's take a look at a few more. We got a puzzle, and trust me when I say this, guys, we're not done with the plush. There's a lot more plush still. We got this puzzle right here. The reason why I picked this up, obviously I want to give it to Susan as well, but this one had some interesting things going for it. So if it's a thing that's worth good money, it's probably going to go online. If it's something that, is on the fairer end, then I'll be giving it away. But it had silhouettes, it had custom shaped pieces, we call these whimsy pieces, okay? And then it had just that whole extra element going to it. Now remember what we talked about last week? We talked about puzzles and the quality of puzzles. What are we looking for? We're looking for a high quality box, preferably with the air cushion texture on it. We're looking for premium pieces and then extra things to be going on. So when we open this up, what do we notice here on the inside? Not only do we have premium pieces in two ways, okay? They're premium in their size, okay? We have, let me see if I can get one of these loose. One that's actually of a size, okay? We have the fact that they're whimsy, that they're premium in size, and they're actually cork backed, okay? I can't remember the last time that I saw a puzzle with actual cork backed pieces. Very, very unique thing to come across. If I had to take a stab at this, it's probably worth at least $20. Again, all of the stuff that I got, for the most part, I didn't have to look any of it up. I just knew, my intuition, my spidey sense, I just knew. My shady sense, it was going off like mad. So that was a cool thing to get as well. You're going to hate me for not remembering this guy's name. You can tell, oh my God, just again, look at the condition on this, okay? Look, like, when we look at elements like right here, okay? Again, please keep in mind, this is from the 80s, okay? Look at just right here. Look how white that is, okay? Find me another one of these, of this era, that's that white, okay? Find me one of this era where the eyes aren't scratched up. It just does not happen, okay? The things like these little embellishments right here, the belt embellishment, those are almost always destroyed, or the foiling is coming off of them, or they're splitting, or they're cracking. Pieces of the outfit, pieces of the costume are just full on missing. To find pieces, Fivel, thank you. To find pieces like this, of this era, in this condition, is absolutely unheard of. And I've been sourcing for years, okay? Years and years and years. And I just don't find this quality ever. And there is still more plush left there that just wasn't the top shelf plush, or it wasn't stuff that I wanted to take the time to look up right then, that we're going to be going back for probably within the next couple of days, and we're going to be clearing out the entire location. Now, I said earlier in the show that I was going to talk about that, because it's an important thing to talk about. When you run into somebody who says, yeah, we're really just trying to get rid of everything. Really? Are you guys moving? Where are you going? What's happening? Why are you moving? How soon are you moving? Okay. Are you guys looking for assistance during this move? Okay. Well, what do you mean? Oh, well, I work with some people, and this is exactly how I phrased it. I said, I asked her, I'm like, well, when are you guys moving? She's like, well, we really need to be out of here by the end of next week. Okay. Why? We ask softly, is there a certain reason why you're looking to do it that quickly? Well, the house is already sold. Okay. Oh, okay. And so we just really need to make it happen. I'm like, are you looking to do 100% liquidation? Are you trying to get rid of 100% of the stuff here? She's like, yeah, definitely. That's exactly what we're looking to do. I'm like, awesome. That's fantastic. Myself, and I also work with a few people, I can definitely assist you in making that happen. Really? Yeah, no, this is what I do for a living. I love finding great stuff like this, and I assist homeowners in, a removal of the last of their items. All we ask, is that it's not trash. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, we're not going to be here to pick up, paper trash or cardboard trash. We can certainly assist you as far as getting them into bins or, loading them into a dumpster or something while we're here packing up. But we don't take any trash, and we'll certainly help you through the process of getting all of this stuff out of here. She asked, well, what do you guys charge? Well, actually, as long as, there's decent stuff left behind that we're able to work with, your unsaleable goods that might still carry value, we won't charge you anything. She's like, really? Yeah, because we're going to do the work on our back end in exchange for your goods that you have left over. Now, she offered to pay me a fee to be able to remove it but today I went back to go measure the fridge, and looking at the remainder of the goods, it's not that bad. And Susan, if you're watching right now, I actually have the pictures. I didn't remember to send them to you. We are going to probably need something bigger than a pickup, maybe the size of your van, or even 2 trips with the van. It's a fair amount of stuff, maybe even a small U-Haul. But yeah, she's going to allow, that's the plan as of now. She's going to allow us to clear out the remainder of the goods, and we're going to make some good bucks on what's left. So it's going to be a great time. So don't be afraid to ask those questions. If you guys want a fuller training on converting people and just, I guess, basic human interaction to be able to present your brand or present what you do, let me know. I know a lot of people are afraid to brand themselves as resellers or professionals, but let me ask, okay, would I have been able to do that? Would I have been able to make that deal if I wasn't a reseller? Okay. would I have been able to make the hundreds of dollars that I'm going to make right now, connect with her on all of the items, follow up and be able to earn commissions, and follow up to be able to do a whole house clear out if I wasn't a professional reseller? Okay. I know a lot of people are afraid to put that out there, but if you own it and you're not just some, Joe Blow down the street and you're actually the real deal professional, they're going to love working with you. Let's take a look at a few more items. I have to tell Daniel, something's wrong with our air conditioner. It's really just messing up. Something about the timing. I think right when like 6:30 hits, it rolls into the next program. Hi, Susan. That's the other thing right there. Thank you, Debbie Does Sales. Referral volume is huge. This pop deal that I did, which we're going to be talking about next week, I told him, he's like, well, could you do 120? Because originally he wanted 165. I countered and explained that I'd probably be a little bit closer to $100. And he said, could you do 120? I said, you know what? I'm new to town. You're one of the first deals that I'm going to be doing here in the area. I'll tell you what. Basically hit him with the Ronco pitch and said, if you're willing to let some of your friends know that this is what I do, and I'm a buyer, I'm a seller, and let them know that, you have a guy who can help them get some money if they're looking to let go of any of this stuff, and send them my way, maybe give them my number, sure, I'll be happy to do 120. And the fact is, the reality is, I would have paid 165 if I had to, if I was pushed to pay that, even with no compensation. So build those bridges. It's a small bridge to build for $20, okay? Especially $20 that I was willing to give away on the deal anyways. But if it can rope in more people to be able to do business with, all the better, right? Right? Just use it as a marketing tool. Sorry about that. And guys, we got a few more items. We got a few more plushies. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jay, it's a darn cow. Okay, why did I get this? Because this is the early logo or early, I don't want to say first edition because I can't say that for sure, but this is one of the earlier TY logos. And I've done well on a couple of these, not a ton of them, but a couple of them. And then a 50-cent buy, I can't see it going that horribly wrong. I can find a kid to give this to over 50 cents. But given the nature of all of the plush that they had, this might be worth something. I've averaged anywhere between $15 to $25 per on the early tags, especially the larger formats as well. I don't have much more to say on that. And I know the snake, if you have the early snake, that can go for upwards of $100, I believe. So keep your eyes peeled for those. See, Robin says the one she bought was in 1986, not 87, and there's one like it for sale on eBay. I have no clue what item you're talking about. White Bessie cow. Thank you, Mindy. It's not any surprise. It's a kitty surprise. Guys, I have never come across one of these. And I know that's creepy looking, and I'm just going to get it closer to the camera just for you guys. But I have never once in my life come across one of these that hit both marks. One, its own existence, the neck tag, and the kittens. Okay? It's not just the one. We have one of the dogs. And I know people buy these. You have to have them. Another doggo. I haven't even pulled these all out yet because it's just a little bit weird. A third doggo. Something's wrong with this cat. A fourth doggo. And I believe that is it inside of there. So I never find them with any of the litter inside of. Adam says that's terrible. Yeah, it's a little bit terrible. I never find them with the litter inside of them. I know that they're worth some bucks. I didn't do any research. Again, 50 cents in. But I remember hearing that the little dudes sell for at least $5-6 a pop. I haven't looked at lot pricing or anything like that. Again, the buy price was so darn low. Yeah, even the kittens have plastic faces. Imagine that experience. Okay, and then this one's for Miguel Godinez. I picked these up on a whim. These are seasonal inspiration, 140 frame West Germany Caesar. I don't know. This is what they are. He buys glasses, and he makes a fortune on them. And I just don't know how he does it. He knows so much about the topic, and it's one of those things that I really want to get into. I really want to learn because I know there's a lot of money on it, but I just can't seem to really get geared into a point where I want to do the work to learn everything that I need to know. It's the same thing with like traditional glassware like Fenton and Lalique and other stuff like that. It's just too much work for me to do. And if I keep wearing these, I'm pretty sure I'm going to throw up. So I hope you guys enjoyed that gaff there. Let's take a look at a few more items, and then we'll probably button it up. I'm not even really scratching the surface. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But yeah, we're going to be buttoning up at 7 o'clock unless we get a little bit of funding to keep us on air. So it's not often that I buy clothing, but the price of the clothing was so darn cheap that I couldn't say no. I don't know if any of this is worth anything online. I just know it's of the era, the early 90s, late 80s. But also, it's stuff that's traditionally expensive. It wasn't cheap when it first came out. We have some Aussie, possibly OC, OSSI ski wear. This was made in Hong Kong. Now, the lady that I was working with, she was actually a buyer. She would go to China every year, and she was a professional buyer, and she'd bring her wares back to the States here and sell them at her specialty store. She was also a diamond broker as well. I got some fantastic stories about these people that I'm going to share in the future, but check these out. These are a nylon insulation, 100% polyfill. I'm sure these are worth at least $40. I'd be a touch surprised if they weren't. On that same vein, we also have Cortina, is what this says. Cortina. These are made in Korea. Seems to be a similar thing, but these are probably youth 12 to 14. Okay. Debbie's saying ski warm-ups is what they're called. And then I really like this one. This is a Snowy Mountain brand. I believe I've got two of these. This is a large. This was made in Taiwan. Check this bad boy out. Yeah, and I paid $1 for that, okay? I paid $1 each for all of these. Here's the second one that I was telling you about, because I was pretty certain I had two. This one's a medium. Lovely, 2 SKUs. Great stuff. Hello, Jane. I don't think I've ever seen you comment. No, I'm sure you have. Ski bibs. I'll definitely look up all that stuff too. You guys are going to have to message me. I hate to say this, but some of the comments during the show, I just don't have the means to go back and review them. So kick them to my inbox, please. This next one I actually did look up, which is what inspired me to buy the rest. If you see items, please don't assume that they're too expensive or that somebody is going to ask too much. I make this mistake all the time. And if I hadn't looked up this one item and realized that it was worth money, and then asked her how much it was, and then she told me $1, and she said, oh yeah, all the clothing here is $1. And then I immediately went, shoop, and I scooped up all 6 pieces of ski wear. This is something that someone out there might actually want, okay? I want you ladies to think about your husbands here. Oh my God, it has the tag. Whoa. Was not expecting that. Okay, so what we have here, we have... These are Big Mac brand Carpenter overalls, okay? That's what these are. And then it also has the secondary, I don't know if this is a front piece or what, but I just right now turned it over and realized it has the original flippin' tag on it, and it has the original sizing tag on it as well. I looked these up. I found used pairs in the $60 to $70 range. Size is 32, inseam 30. That is my exact size. I might try these on sometime. But these are brand new. Oh, here we go. Here's the front. Here's the front. Let's go ahead and... I really don't want to mar these up at all, but... just want to be able to show you guys, give you an idea of how these actually look. How crazy is that? These have the tags on them. I paid $1 for this. With the tags, I realistically feel that I could get upwards of maybe even $150, $200, maybe $250. Because if there's no competition, I get to set the pace on this. This is insane. Wow. And then I guarantee you, whatever the heck this extra piece is, it's, oh my God, it even has the tag too. I don't even know what this is. Maybe an extender of some type. I bet you these are impossible to find. I bet you nobody even has these, especially if they're new. We need those for actual farm work. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying these specifically for farm work now that I know they're new. If they were used, 100%. But new, these are, somebody should put these into some type of collection or even museum of some type. That is an amazing score. And I chucked it to the side because it's going on top of the other clothing, which is protecting its fall. I had no clue that that was new. Here's a stupid item that I kind of immediately regretted buying, but I bought because there was a expensive comp online. You guys ever do that? You guys buy something and then you're like walking it back to the car and you're thinking, man, is that ever going to sell? Is that really going to sell? Was that worth spending that extra money on? I paid $4 for this. This is a pair of Kitty brand skis, and they're tiny. They're made in Austria. And they're cute. They have their poles with them as well. The comp online for these is somewhere between the $70 and $100 price point, but there's no completed, which at some point you kind of expect not to see completed on things that are a little bit harder to find. I don't know. I hope they sell. But I could also see them taking up space in my garage for a very, very long time. Let's see what else we got. We got a bag. The bag itself is kind of cute. It's Smurfs. It's a tote bag. It has a little bit of staining on the interior, but this is before tote bags were a thing. Again, this is of the period, probably mid-'80s on something like this. And I got a handful of goodies that are inside of here. This was another one of the things I did. As soon as I had a good thing going, I went ahead and just filled up a bag. Again, with these types of plush, I did not look them up. This is a puppet, actually. Oh, it feels so weird on the inside. I probably should inspect things before I jam my hand inside of them. But yeah, I have no clue what this is worth. Again, it's got to be worth something just because of the period and just because of the condition. And if it's not, I have no qualms losing 50 cents. This is adorable. Let me see if I can get a brand on this. This is actually I remember what drew me to this. This actually had the original tag on it. How do you stop a puffle popple from snoring? I guess there's a joke in there. So this is a puffle poffle. Never even heard of one of these before. And we actually they're new with their tags. The tags are stuffed into the interior on them, but we have a pair of them. Very cute though. Very, very cute. Probably worth more than they should be. I got to pull out a handful of items that go together. Give me one moment. So up next is a series. I forgot about that one. We have an item from a AAA brand. This is on the top of most Bolo list as far as brands are concerned. It is a brand that I have never found. And if you remember previous weeks, I had recently stumbled across Patagonia, recently stumbled across North Face. This is a brand that on average commands more money than either one of those brands. And that's going to be our last item for the evening. So we're going to look at this one first, then we're going to follow up with the last one, which I haven't even inspected fully. Okay. And guys, I want you to know that we went through 1.5 bins of the 5 bins of items that I got at that yard sale. So we will have items to continue showing next week and the week after until eBay Open comes. The next 2 weeks might just be pickups in all honesty, just because of the sheer volume of stuff that I have. So up next we have a series of matching, or from the same set, McDonald's toys. Now, I have only ever come across the hamburger. I have never come across the other ones. We have the hot cakes, the milkshake, the Happy Meal, the ice cream. Never seen the other ones before in my life. If I had to take a stab at it, probably about $15. And yes, they are Transformers. They do transform into different things, but I've never come across the other ones. Always this one. So I'm going to guess about $15. Total price paid was about $1.50, maybe $2 on them. Very, very, very cool thing. Those sell awesomely on eBay. That's great to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. And guys, this next one, we're going to look at it together because I opened it to see if there was contents in there when I purchased it and immediately closed it. This was the first item that I found at the yard sale, the very first box that I went through. I also want to point out that I was late to the party on this yard sale. I got there at 9 o'clock. And I was told that people had already gone through and picked through everything, and that's what was left over. I missed out on, I believe, 20 or so Starbucks cups that morning. But I'm not salty, and I'll tell you why, because I put the hours in, and I knew what I was looking for, and I was willing to do the work, and I watched people leave hundreds of dollars worth of plush behind so that way they could collect their easy money. If you're willing to do the hard work, you're going to get paid for it. We have Cartes et Noir Knotting Cards. I have no clue what that even means. By Hermes. Okay. Hermes is the AAA brand that I was just referencing a second ago. Are you going to focus? Are you going to do this thing for me, please? Any flipping time now. Hermes of Paris. Okay. And this is one of the brands that we look out for when it comes to stuff like ties and just any type of textile type good. I have no clue what this is. I haven't even looked it up. Jane's saying those are big sellers. We're going to open it up. On the inside, we have this is what I saw initially. I saw a single girl on a card. We're going to go and flip these out. Okay. So on the back side here, what I'm going to do, I'm even going to zoom in for you guys so that way you guys can see it at the same time. So we have a whole bunch of different methods for tying a handkerchief, it appears. The fichu, the tour de cou, the grand turban. Okay, so these on the back side, that's what we're seeing. Is we're seeing a host of different styles here, and then I assume on the other side we're going to see, yeah, there we go, representations of that style being done. Some pretty women in here. Oh, sorry guys if you can't see it. So yeah, if somebody wants to look that up, here, let me fix this so you're not in my face so much. Is that the right place? That looks about right. So if somebody wants to look those up, by all means. I don't know if I have the full set. I don't know. It doesn't, obviously there's not going to be any extra printing on there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I have 21 cards here. Saying approximately 35. No, I have 21 of the cards, but my cards all feel like they are in exceptionally minty condition. No clue. Or you're saying approximately worth $35, which could be a thing as well. But very cool pickup. Very, very cool. Like I said, I've never stumbled across this brand before, so I'm always happy to see stuff like that. And again, the condition, we talked about this before. If your condition is really, really pushing the bar, then you can probably get away with a whole heck of a lot more. Okay, we are running short on time today, guys. Yes, on eBay as well. Thank you so much for that. Richard saying between 25 and 40 on Terapeak. Mindy is echoing those same thoughts as well. So, as I've said before, guys, every single week we try and do something a little bit special here. We try and talk with you guys about the things that... Oh, got to get the right music going. Sorry, I had some of those toggled on already. So, also today, guys, we're not going to be rolling the outro. I did not get the new one set up. I've just been backed up so much with work. So we're just going to kind of talk for a minute, and then we're just going to kind of wrap things up. That's how we're going to do it. So, sorry. It's been a very busy week, and I'm sure you can see some of the fruits of my labor as well. So last week, guys, we talked about the importance of not giving up on your dream, and it is a really, really big thing to continue to push hard and work towards achieving those dreams that you do want to achieve. We've talked about this many, many times in the past. This week I received a phone call, and it was a very, very challenging phone call for me to receive. It was a friend of mine who I've known on and off for a long time. Me and him share the same birthday. I think we've been friends for somewhere in the area of about 13 years now. And he called me to tell me that he's finally hit the bottom rung. He had issues with substance abuse in the past. He's had issues with domestic violence. He's spent some time in jail. And it's weird to see and painful to see the divergence between where we left each other in high school, graduating in 2003, and where my life has gone and through the challenges and complications that I've had, and where his life has ultimately gone. But he called to tell me that he's now sleeping on an air mattress and under a tent, and that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks of his life. And it really made me want to stop and remind everyone to be very conscious of the decisions that you make, because it really only takes a handful of bad decisions in a row to destroy everything that you have going on around you. And it's unfortunate that I can't help him. And it's not that I can't help him because I'm unable to help him. I can't help him simply because I've helped him too many times in the past. And that the value of your own personal efforts will always outweigh the value of the efforts that others do for you. It's just the way it is. I've talked before about how our program is geared towards teaching people how to fish opposed to handing them fish. We don't give out this education so that way you have an answer for today. We give out this education so that you are prepared for everything that can come at you in the future. There's a reason why we put the effort into the training videos, just to make sure that you always have the tools and resources available to you to be able to take yourself to the next level and be able to be accountable for your own personal actions. And like I said, it pains me. If you're somebody who's struggling with substance abuse, reach out. There's hotlines. There's always me. You can always reach out to me and talk with me if you have issues with alcohol or drugs or anything, honestly, in life that you can become addicted to. Reach out to me. We'll get you in touch with the right people that you need to talk to. And if you're struggling and your brand's struggling, you can't understand why, that's also a thing that might need help. So reach out to me and let me know what you have going on, and we'll do our best to help you through what you're going through. But I just wanted to tell everyone, just be mindful, okay? Like I said, a couple of bad decisions can set you down a really, really bad path, and I frankly don't want to see that happen to anyone, especially anyone that's been within my program. It would pain me. And lastly, just be mindful of the company that you keep around you. We've talked about it before. We've talked about false prophets, people that are in your life and they give you the impression that they're there for good. But remember, everyone has a motivation, and understanding someone else's motivation is going to better help you understand how close you should let that person be. I am not motivated by money. I'm genuinely here to help you. If I cared about money, I wouldn't do this show, because this doesn't make me much. But figure out people's motivations, be smart, make good decisions, guys. Work hard, don't give up. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, this has been the Reseller Roundup. Today is June 30th, 2019. Thank you so much for everyone for taking the time to watch this evening. Thank you so much to those of you who did donate to our show to help out with eBay Open, signed up for our Patreon. Thank you to all of our wonderful Patreon members. I don't know if I can bring that up here. Let's bring that up one more time and say thank you to all of our... Can I say thank you? Maybe I can't say thank you. I don't know why my slideshow isn't rolling slides right. It's busted. It's just too much for it to handle. Let's see. There we go. Thank you to all of those lovely patrons who helped make this show possible. Extra special thank you to Pam, Matthew, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob. I truly do appreciate all of you helping us out, as well as all of our other patrons. This has been a fun time. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Oh, and remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great night.